Hello everybody, Steffi here from The Makers, and this is the first part of our long-awaited Animal in the Woods Advent project. And as you can see, I haven't lit the candle yet, but I'm going to light candle number 1 because Sunday has been the first of Advent, which is so exciting. I hope you've had a really lovely Sunday. I don't know how you spent the first of Advent, but usually we light our first candle, and it's maybe the time where you can start playing some Christmas music. And you can just about see it. There we go. Let's see how we go with that. I love the smell of matches when they've just been lit up. I've got my hot mulled drink here, so I'm gonna zip away with that. It's non-alcoholic, just so that you know I'm not going to be very tipsy after the hour. I'm treating myself to some chocolates, vegan chocolates. Very nice indeed. I shall have some in a minute. And I've opened my first envelope, as probably you have, because today is Tuesday, the few days after the 1st of Advent, Sunday. And if you're watching this on Thursday, it's even further along the road. But this is the first of the Animals in the Wood, part 1, needle felting makers make along. And I don't know about you, but the colors are all quite dark at the moment. The felt sheet that you found in your pack, in your envelope, is big. I'm gonna fill all of this with wool and exciting things leading up to Christmas. So I hope you're as excited as I am. And I will now tell you what you need to make this picture along with me. You need 100 grams of natural black stone sheep wool bats. You need 5 grams of midnight blue rainbow drops. Now, this is sort of quite specific to us because it's a wool that has got these pretty little, can you see them? Pretty little, like stars in the sky, pretty little cotton spots in there in all colors. You need 3 grams of natural Australian merino, which is a really beautiful, very nice white wool bat as well, and then 3 grams of forest green, which again is a nice, it's quite a Christmassy color, I always think. You also need felting needles, which are the 38 and the 36, so medium and coarse, and a large felting mat. I've got my earth mat here, the large square one. If you get an A3, best. You're totally in business with this, because this wool viscose felt sheet, which is a light yellow color, is 36 by 60 centimeters big. So now you have it all. The only thing I haven't mentioned is that you will need a pencil, because we're going to draw onto this felt sheet. So if you've got a pen, that's fine too. Just anything that you can use to draw on there. Everything will be covered up afterwards as well. I've kept the Christmas decorations minimal because I want to build up to it as we go along, but you can see here our pretty little Christmas tree fairy. She's found a space on this tree, and oh, where's he gone? Naughty Tomte, where have you gone? Oh, he's fallen down. He didn't want to be part of this. He was sitting on the shelf, but he's decided to take a tumble instead. And I've got one Christmas Tomte there, and he's going to watch very carefully so he can take the next part of the Animal in the Woods project. No, only joking. I will be doing it all the way through, taking you, holding you by your hand all the way through Christmas. And I will just look at the instructions to remind myself what's going to happen next, and then I'm going to go to the overhead camera. And basically, you will be preparing the background of your picture, starting with the night sky and moon. For this, you will be using the midnight rainbow drops, natural black, natural white Australian merino bats. The felt sheet needs to be positioned in portrait position. So you need it that way, so that the long side is on the side and the short side is at the top. And you will have plenty of wool as long as you apply the wool in small quantities and add more in small batches where needed. The yellow of the felt sheet will peep through, and that is part of the whole plan, that the yellow of the sheet will continue to peep through at whatever stage you're at. And So I'm going to put this to that side. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to, I'm going to go to the overhead camera now. There we go. You've got your sheet here, and you're going to draw the moon into this with your pencil. Now I always think, and people always think I'm being lazy, not sharpening my pencils, but actually blunter pencil always work better on fabric to draw on, because it doesn't sort of snag, the sharp tip doesn't snag into the sheet. And we are giving you measurements, so it's best to have your instruction set at the ready, because on the left hand side of every sheet, as you know, there is a tape measure here in centimeters. So you can, what we're saying is draw a 9 to 10 centimeter moon in diameter and about 3 to 4 centimeters from the edge. So let's do that first. So 3 to 4 centimeters is there from the top edge. And now we're saying 9 to 10 centimeters. So what I do is I lay my tape measure on there, and let's go for 10 centimeters. And I know this is 10 centimeters. I've got my middle line there because that's where the felt was folded. And so I'm going to draw another middle line if you want this to be very precise. Otherwise, just go for it. It doesn't have to be a perfectly round moon. You can do a lot of adjustments later. But if you do want it to be relatively round, you can make it bigger if you want, but that's about a round, nice round moon in the sky. So draw, connect the points that you've made. So I've measured from the edge here, that was 4 centimeters actually. Then I've measured from here to there, that's 10 centimeters. Halfway is 5 centimeters. And then I've just gone from the middle point to the sides, that's also 10 centimeters, and connected all of these little dots, and that is making my moon nice and round, nice and even. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to color in the moon with the white wool. Now when I lay out wool, I always take a pinch and then I sort of stroke it out on the shape and put it in position, and then you're going to take your coarse felting needle and you're going to snap it down. When you're felting flat on your mat, you will know that you are fastening the wool onto the mat. At this stage, especially when you're building the background, you can actually speed your work up a little bit by using multi-tools. So if you have got a Clover 5 needle felting tool, that's perfect. That definitely speeds your work up a little bit. And once you've fastened that down, you can fasten down a little bit more. And you can see how much faster I can actually do this now. There's a bit of grass in there, dried up grass. Let's get that out. So remember to lift your work off the mat, so that it doesn't stay on there forever and ever. Now we've had feedback, I'm using the earth-friendly felting mat underneath, but we have had feedback that people who do flat needle felting quite enjoy using the firmer side face up. So I'm going to give that a go with my single needle. It's quite a lot more it's a bit more punchy and bitey. I think what happens is that the needle obviously has to work a little bit harder to get into the soft mat. It's definitely harder on your arm, but I think it kind of felts the wool in a bit better. I'm not sure it works with a 5 needle felting tool. Oh yes, it does. Just need to punch a little bit harder to get it in. I'm not worried that the lines are visible at the moment, because there's going to be so much going on. The lines will be completely disappearing in due course. Add another layer, and I've still got a bit of yellow shining through there, and that's quite all right. I've actually got the finished picture hanging up in front of me, and I wish I could show it to you. This is an unusual project in that we don't show you what you're actually making. You're completely trusting us in this one, so we thank you very much for that. We appreciate that you have changing to the other arm, because my arm's hurting a little bit just punching it so much. Right, I'm going to go over to the soft side again, because there's going to be a lot of stubbing going on. Let's do it this way around. So once you've fastened the moon on, you're going to split the natural black wool into half and put one half to one side. So I'm going to split my black into half, put one to one side and use the other. There we go. And then from the other half, lay out wisps, starting in the left-hand corner, working in the left-hand corner and felt down. Allow the yellow wool underneath to shine through still. So we don't want to completely cover it in black. And again, what I do is I do this. I just have the wool in my right hand, and I just allow, as I'm holding onto it, I allow the wool to sort of split out over the picture and spread it out a bit, and then you're felting that down. So the plan behind you felting this, sorry, I just picked up the wrong needle. You do definitely need a coarse or a medium needle, but I'm using a coarse needle to do this. The plan behind part 1 and 2, where you are basically doing quite a lot of it's more the footwork you're doing here at the moment. The idea is that we sort of imagine that you've got lots of running around to do still, because it's the time leading up to Christmas. So you probably don't want to sit all day, every day, felting away. So the background you can work quite quickly, and the finer detail is when you're getting to the time where you should have done everything that needed to be done, and you're not rushing around anymore, and you can take a little bit of time, sit down, put your feet up, pour yourself a glass of your favorite, whatever it is, whether it's an alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage. Maybe it's just a cup of tea and a bicky, and just enjoy the time that's to come, with long nights and cozy times in. Hopefully you can spend it with loved ones, and you're not on your own. But if you're on your own, I'll be there. We will be by your side, supporting you throughout the whole of the time leading up to Christmas. And then you could rewatch it all again if you want to, between Christmas and New Year. Right. So it's quite a lot of arduous work. I'm leaving the light showing because I need to also, what the next step is to fill these little gaps with the blue wool with the spots, and I keep dipping into the wrong stash here. So once you've got your darker, this is surrounding the whole of the moon, so you're going all the way around the moon, all around the moon on both sides, and laying it all out. I've actually, it has just been full moon a few days ago. It's been absolutely stunning. Well, it might have been more than a few days ago, might have been already 10 days ago. It's been an amazing night sky, lots of beautiful night skies at the moment anyway, with beautiful sunsets and beautiful sunrises. And where I come from in Germany, I was always told when you get this really lovely red night sky, I was always told that is the time when the Christ child is baking biscuits. And of course in Germany it's not Father Christmas that comes down the chimney, but it's the what is called Christkind, which is an angel, or that's what I've always imagined, is the angel. It's the spirit of Jesus, I guess. It's the Christ child angel that comes and leaves the presents. I'm sure it doesn't come down the chimney. I'm sure it magically can go through walls and doors, and so the saying has got it, when it's a red sky at night, it's the Christ child that's baking biscuits, Christmas biscuits. And there are some really beautiful Christmas biscuits, or such things as cinnamon stars and Lebkuchen and all kinds of other things that I remember, especially my grandmother. She would always send lots out to me, even when I was an adult. 5 or 6 different types of beautiful and extremely nicely tasting Christmas biscuits. And if you can hear in the background some sort of swishing of water, that's the radiator that has decided to swirl and whirl the water around itself. I don't know why it's doing that. It hasn't done that before, but I'm sure it's fine. It's not my tummy, and it's not something strange happening in this room. It's just the radiator that's gurgling, and you might not even be able to hear it, but I just thought I'd tell you that is what's happening. be really lovely if you could leave in the comments what you're getting up to leading up to Christmas. During this Advent project that we are sharing with you, we don't have a giveaway or a competition, but we nevertheless, we still want to hear from you what you're doing, and leave the comments and let us know what you're up to, especially as Alicia will be there to keep you all amused while I'm actually pre-recording this. Not very far pre-recording it. It's very close to the actual time that you will be watching it. But I'm yet again jet setting around the UK to finish off the last few of the shows that we've still got to go to. And but I promise you, for the others, I will be there absolutely, totally, 100% present, live, and helping you along. Right, whilst I've been chatting away, I've filled the sky. And now the next step, next take the midnight blue raindrops wool butts and add over the top of the natural black, filling in the areas the black has not at all or barely covered. Only the top 1/3 of the felt sheet should now be covered. So if you look at this, I actually have to show you this on the large camera because this overhead camera is too small. So if you look at this now, I've got the moon here, and then I've got the night sky there, and then there's about that much between the middle. And then if you look at the same distance from the edge down to here, then that's about, the middle one is 1/3, and then the bottom is 1/3 as well. It's not exactly precise, but you can measure it if you want it to be completely precise, but that is basically how it looks at the moment from the front and from the back. You can felt this down lots more, which I encourage you to do anyway. But when you're adding the blue layer over the top, that will also add stuff all this, push all the fibers underneath into the back as well. Do use your multi-tools. If you haven't got the clover one, but some of the others, you might have the Prim needle felting tool. This one here, that works quite well as well. Just oh, I've got one broken needle in there. I wonder how that happened. Yeah, that works absolutely fine. Especially if you're having mobility issues, it sits really nicely in the palm of your hand, and you don't even have to use your fingers. You just need to be able to move your arm up and down, so you can just let that rest in your hand like that. So I don't have to grip onto the handle tightly at all. It's literally just closing your hand keeps it in place, and it does stab it in nicely. Just make sure you don't have your fingers anywhere near it, because if you stab yourself, it hurts. Right, as I've got to change a needle, let's do this together overhead, and you can have a look how it works. So this is the multi-tool, the Prim multi-handle. By the way, this will give your earth mat quite a lot of coloring in as well. So we look at that, what you can do about that in a minute too. So the middle one is actually just a needle on its own that you can use singularly there. And now I've got to find the culprit that's broken. That one. They do come out quite easily. Make sure you get rid of it safely in a sharp spin, which is over there. So I just have to stuff it into one of these mats for now. And then put a new needle in there. You can choose any kind of size needle in there, so it doesn't have to be, I'm going to go for a medium needle. I have a feeling I've got all kinds of needles in there. The needles need to sit on the top of that handle there. Some of them have slid down. They're very easy to put up. They're not kind of stuck. They just fit in there really. Oop, that's gone through the middle hole. Maybe I need to look on the side above. There we go. So that's all filled up now with all kinds of different needles. Put the lid back on. Screw it nice and tight. And then you can slide that middle needle back in if you want to use all of them. And then don't forget to put the ergonomic handle back on. And then you can stab away. And I'm going to use this now to add the blue, midnight blue fibers into the picture, to add a few stars in there already because they're part of the wool, and it's all quite softly covered. It's not I haven't like it's not a how can I say, it's not like a coloring in book where you are very sort of precise with very precise outlines and borders. In fact, here it looks a little bit like the sky is spilled into the moon, but that's fine because I'm going to add a bit more white over the white in a minute anyway, as part of the instructions and as part of the project. So get it all fastened on whichever tool you're using. Oh, no, wrong color, sorry. And this for change. So you should be able to do this in an evening. Just sit down, like I say, get yourself a nice cozy drink, and this shouldn't be a stressful project. It should be just something that you can literally spread out over the weeks leading up to Christmas, and then even if you work on it after Christmas, that's fine too. Right, if your mat gets really covered and it bothers you, then now is the time to invest in one of these brush mats, because they're absolutely brilliant. Look at that. It doesn't always pick up all of the fibers, but it picks up all of the fibers that could potentially contaminate the work, that whatever you're doing afterwards. So it is a really easy way to clean your earth-friendly felting mat. So it's definitely a good investment. And the more you clean it, the cleaner you get it still, because the fibers won't have felted in so far. However, if they have felted in really well, then that's also less of a danger to contaminate your work that you're putting in there in the future. So you can see it's never going to be 100% clean, but it gets a lot cleaner than it has been. And the main thing is that the wispy loose fibers, look, that's all the stuff that I've got off there now. With a picture, it doesn't matter. You can leave it until the very end because you're not going to contaminate anything from the back. But just just in case you haven't got one of those rubber brushes yet, that's what they're called. If you look for rubber brush on our website, you should be able to find it quite easily. And work your way around it. It is definitely thirsty work, so I'm going to have a little sip of my beautiful mulled. Can you see it's nice and red? Very nice. Gone a bit heavier, a bit more cover here. That's all right. Just keep it thinner on other parts. And cover that up as well. When you do this at home, as usual, you're going to take so much more care, and you're going to felt it down much nicer and much more solid and densely and all the rest of it. But it is meant to have bits of white still showing. Sorry, when I say white, I actually mean yellow. So don't worry too much if a bit of the color is shining through. That's absolutely fine. You have got plenty of wool to completely color it in solid, so that's also fine. There we go. Whilst we're talking about winter and cozy days, I will just remind you that we actually have still got spaces left on our winter retreat. The winter retreat is held in Gloucestershire, near Stroud, on top of a hill overlooking the Golden Valleys of Gloucestershire. It's Laurie Lee country, basically. That's where we are. And I'm just going to show you the details of that. We will treat you, we will look after you, we will make sure that you are cozy, happy, well fed, warm, and it's suitable for total beginners. We will support you at whatever stage you're at with needle felting. The food is to die for. It's home cooked, organic. Most of it is grown on the estate, including the meat. And And oh my goodness, I've forgotten about the biscuits. Oh, the biscuits are just so nice. I've just remembered them. I think I could just live off the biscuits. The rooms are basic but comfortable. You don't get en suites. We have one room that's suitable for somebody who cannot walk stairs, and there is an ensuite attached to this. And I think we might still have got that available. So do get in touch if that is something you need. And other than that, just come, be spoiled, have meet new people, and make yourself a dragon. However, design your own dragon even. All the materials and all the tools that you will be using will be included in the retreat as well. So yeah, definitely something to come and join. And the candle is burning nicely now. I'm quite proud of my new Advent wreath. It's a little bit more simplistic than what I normally have. Mine is completely homemade, but this is a really nice base, and then you can decorate it as much or as little as you like. As I said, the decorations are a little bit minimalistic yet. I haven't switched the lights on in the Christmas tree. I'm saving some for the progressing days towards heading towards Christmas, when the mood is setting in a little bit more. Having been to so many shows, I will be honest, I have listened to so many Christmas songs. I think my fill is already reached, but I don't know, when it comes to that final countdown to Christmas, that feeling, just, you can't describe it really. It just happens automatically. I know that we have all had our own little or even big problems. We've all had a tough time over the last few years. Not everybody is lucky enough to spend Christmas with their families. So I'm really sorry if you're one of them and you know that already. We just have to hope that there will be better Christmases ahead where that is happening. And sometimes it's quite nice to know what you're actually missing, because then you appreciate it more when you've got it again. But that, at the risk of that sounding patronizing, because I know that some of you are carrying much heavier burdens than others. Right, that's how far I've got now according to the instructions. So I've got my moon in the middle, which has become a little bit less round than it has been, but I can put that right again. And now I'm going on to page 3 of the instructions. Oh dear, where are page 3 of the instructions? Oh, I left them somewhere behind. Oh, can I see them? No. Okay, I'm gonna have to make this up. It's fine. I can do this. I've written the instructions. I can remember, and I've got a picture. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to color in the sides here. In fact, you can see it here. We need to color in going down towards that third, that 1/3 of the picture, which is going to be left empty, but we need to edge our way towards it. And to do this, you need to mix now the black with the green. I hope that you need to mix it. I think you need to mix it. It might be that you do the same again, where you actually just use the black first and then the green. You could, if you wanted to, draw yourself a circle here, because this is going to be, in the middle is going to be the clearing of where the animals will gather. That's how much I'm going to give away. And so measure from the bottom about, I'm having to do this from a memory, but I would say about 6 centimeters. If this is wrong, I cannot see these. Oh, hang on a second. I'll look them up. I'll look up the instructions so I don't tell you something completely wrong, because that would be so. Right, let's get to this point. So, oh yes, first of all, we need to add more white to the moon. I knew that was going to happen first. Okay, right, white to the moon, because I've made it slightly out of shape anyway. And we need to make sure that that moonlight is spilling into the sky again. I do this overhead because you can probably see that better. So then add more white to the moon and re-establish the edge. Keep the edge soft, imagining that the light of the moon spills out into the sky. So for this, I'm going to use my single needle, and I'm just making sure that the edge is nice and wispy. So it's almost like the light is actually going beyond into the sky, shining out into the sky. So you can felt the wool down this way actually, if you let it spill out like that. Keep the edge nice and soft. Just establish that round moon again. A bit there. There we go. That's a bit better now. And then what you do is you're actually going to mix a little white and black wool into a streaky mix and lay around the outside of the moon to emphasize the bright reflection of the moon. So now you're taking the white and the black and you're mixing it very briefly, basically, not very much at all. And now you're laying out a little bit of the mix onto the sky to even more emphasize that this moon is really bright and shining right into the dark, cloudless, starlit sky, and spilling out even more. I'm glad I looked up the instructions. I would have literally taken you down the wrong route. I must have dropped that last page. That's annoying. God knows where it is. But anyway, we've got it all in hand. So do that all around the moon. And once you've done that, I can still see a little bit of the yellow sheet peeping through, and that's fine because that adds a little bit of sort of texture into the moon as well. So that's quite nice to have that still happening. Pelt it all down. We're not going to have so many muscles in our arm by the end of all of this. And that's the moon in the top of the sky finished now, definitely. Right, peel it all off. And now we can go to the next step. So next, use your pen or pencil and freehand draw a slightly oval shape below the filled sky. Make a dot about 5 centimeters below the sky and 5 centimeters above. So that was what I originally said 6 centimeters. It's actually 5. So we're just making a dot here, 5 centimeters below the sky, and then 5 centimeters. That was the dot I drew earlier. I'm going to ignore that now. And then you can also make that about 5 to 6 centimeters away from the edge. So let's do that. 5 to 6. You can always establish what the center is here. It's about there. And do 5 to 6 centimeters from the edge. There, 1, and if you have a real ruler, you can use that, of course, as well. And 5. And then, as with the moon, you're going to connect the points again, but this time it should be slightly oval, not round like the moon. We are going to have an oval clearing here. There. And all you need to do for this project now, for this part 1, is to color in these parts here, coming down the sides. And then that is basically part 1 complete. I will also just tell you that we have still got spaces, and this is thinking way far ahead into March. We've always wanted to do pet portraits. I don't think I could be very proficient at it straight away. I would have to practice lots and lots, and even then I'm not sure I could do it. I tried pet portraits portraits 3D, and it was so stressful. I just couldn't do it. I just knew that it was never going to be exactly like the real thing. However, we have got Sophie Wheatley, who has been doing this for a few years now, and she's an absolute master at it, coming to us in Nailsworth for a pet portrait workshop, which is on the 26th to the 27th of March. So it is a non-residential workshop. You will have to find accommodation in and around the area, unless you live close by, then better still. And then she's also going to do a wild animal picture. So you can choose an animal of your choice. And that's on the 2nd to the 3rd of April. These are Saturday and Sunday weekends. And with a pet portrait, it doesn't have to be a dog. It can also be a cat or a hamster or whatever pet you want to immortalize in one of these beautiful portraits. So if you are interested in that as well as the winter retreats, then go and email us info@themakers with 2 S's, remember that, .co.uk. And that's basically for you to do as well. Right, this is what my picture looks like now. The oval shape in the middle is going to stay clear for the minute, and all I'm doing now is adding the area below the sky and around 1/2 of that clearing on both sides. And in order to do that, I am going to mix a larger portion of the natural black from your stash you put aside at the beginning, and mix a smaller amount of the forest green wool into it. Now, I will just tell you, I have got lots of black left, so I don't think you will run out of wool in any rush. And so you need to keep the proportion of the black larger with less of the green. And let's do this overhead again. I'm just going to move that picture over a bit so I can start doing this. And then felt down from the sky, leaving the round oval shape uncovered and only covering the middle third of the felt sheet. You can mark this with a pen if necessary. Well, I think we've established where the other 1/3 is. And again, I'm just painting it on. So you let this sort of spill into the sky a little bit, and then you're just felting it down. So it's, again, quite a large area you need to cover. I will just say that if it's not so important, it's completely densely covered again, because there's going to be stuff happening in front of it. So don't stress too much about it if for whatever reason you are not managing to cover all of it very, very densely. There is lots of things. They were building the background, and there will be lots of features going into the foreground. I think I'm ready for a little bit of chocolate, which I'm going to have now, whilst you can't see me eat it. There it is. Oh, so nice. I have to eat it in 2 parts. It's so rich. But lovely. Do you save special chocolates just for Christmas as well? I sort of certain chocolates that I don't eat at all throughout the year. And then when it's Christmas, I allow myself to have some of it. And makes it extra special. And I'm not talking about like the, normal chocolates. I'm talking about really nice, expensive, special, 100% only available at Christmas and affordable at Christmas for me anyway. Chocolates. So nice. We should have just a little shared group where we can share the best chocolates. Right, I'm working my way around the picture still. And all you can hear is the click, 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 click of the multi-tool. I've given up on my single needle because I'll be sitting here until it's Christmas, literally. Oh. Have you got, has everybody got themselves sorted yet? I, I'm a bit of a last minute purchaser, I will be honest. I'm also not somebody who enjoys joining the rush of Christmas shoppers. It does put me off slightly doing any shopping. And I'm also definitely somebody who will ask, what do you want for Christmas, rather than buying random presents that that was only polite noises being made about it, and then they get put in the bottom drawer and never seen again. Every year, for years and years, I always used to hand make something for my children. Last year it was the first time, bearing in mind that they are all teenagers and, well, one's left teenagehood now, that where they said, Mom, it's okay, you don't need to crochet us any slippers or hats or whatever. However, this year my daughter actually did say, can you make me a pair of slippers, Mum? I'm like, well, I already thought, oh no, I haven't even built that time into my life. I thought I don't have to do that anymore, but I think sometimes the circle closes and comes round again. So yes, right, put that all down. I'm nearly done with that, closing that up now. I keep coming back to the 5 needle tool. I think it feels the least dangerous as multi-tools go, with the shield retracting. It is definitely harder to hold in your hand because you've got to grip it, whereas this one here just sits in the palm of your hand and you just can go up and down and relax your arm even. There we go. Nearly done on this one. And so we've got, what have we still got to look forward to? Well, we have got the butterfly conservation. Their kits have been selling well before Christmas because we're doing a new butterfly for them on the 20th of January. I've even got a little note here that you can look at. There you go. That's the Red Admiral Butterfly Workshop happening on the 20th of January, and you can get your butterfly workshop pack from them directly. It's I think they've even still got the large blue on there for sale, which of course we did in the summer. But the Red Admiral, if you want to add it to your collection, that's a new one that we have never done before. It's definitely available still to buy from them. We have also got another workshop that's coming up that we're planning to run in February, beginning of February even, and that is with the British Liver Trust, and that is making a teddy bear, and I'm really looking forward to that. This might be the first time I've even mentioned this to you. Let's go back to the overhead picture because you don't want to look at that other thing all the time. Right, this is how far I've got, so I've literally got to bring that down a little bit to make it even on both sides. And then this is part 1 of your Advent project complete, believe it or not. Yeah, not too much to give away yet. You know it's gonna be a night theme, night scene even. You know there's gonna be a big moon in there. You know we're keeping something clear in the middle for something special to be put in there. You know it's gonna be called Animals in the Wood. You know it's gonna be a wood, so you know there's gonna be trees at some point. But I think the rest of it, we will keep our lips tight and zipped up firmly. So this is how far you should have come on your first part 1. Pretty much the same. And that's it, basically. I've still got one left over. I don't know about you. I think we've been extra generous with the amounts, but you can always put it towards your stash. And that's basically it. So you have the ingredients should now be listed on the description of the live stream. If you want to catch up, then you can do this. I'll just say it again. The felt piece is about 36 by 60 centimeters. You can make it smaller if you want to. And we've used 4 colors, which is the natural black stone sheep lamb, the midnight blue rainbow drops, the natural white Australian merino, and the forest green New Zealand merino. I hope that you have also been able to light your first candle on the 1st of Advent. And of course, let's have a think. When is this? I'm just trying to think. So the first. Oh, can't work this out. I need to look this up. So the first. So you will be watching this the first time on the 30th of November. Oh my goodness, tomorrow. Tomorrow, for those who are watching on the 30th, is the first day of opening your Advent calendar, your first Advent calendar parcel. So that's exciting. And then if you're watching this again on Thursday, you will have already opened a few. Anyway, I hope you have lots of fun leading up to Christmas. We will be there for you all the way, and take care, everybody. Also, if you're watching this on the 30th, I'm just thinking you can still grab a bargain with our special discount code that will give you 25% off on all of our products, with a few exceptions, and you might want to fill your boots before Christmas on that. Thank you so much for always being there for us, for supporting us, and for giving us the thumbs up on this tutorial, as well as subscribing to our YouTube channel. We will continue to share what we can all the way into the new year as well, because we want to support you as much as you are supporting us. So all I can say is thank you very much from my heart, and I will see you for real next Tuesday, when I'm back for good. Yes, back for good. And then I can start thinking about Christmas too. Take care, everybody.